What's going on, everybody? Sky High Vibes, you already know. So, as you guys can see from the title of today's video, I'm gonna be reacting to something a little bit different, and this is El Chapo's Supermax prison is worse than you think. I seen this on YouTube and I was like, looks a little interesting. I would like to see what it's about. A couple people requested me to react to this on Instagram, so here we are today. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up because it really does help. With that being said, let's get straight to the video.
Cartel kingpins are as feared or notorious as Joaquin Guzman, aka El Chapo.
El
He
Chapo.
once ran the cartel. At his peak, he was bringing in $3 billion each year. He controlled half of the entire
$3
Mexican
billion?
narcotics trade. He owned a couple of yachts, a fleet of Learjets, a diamond-encrusted pistol, and a private zoo.
A diamond in he had a diamond pistol. A, that means if you died from El Chapo, you got shot with a diamond pistol. He had a tiger. He had so much shit.
Learjets, a diamond-encrusted pistol, and a private zoo with tigers,
A
crocodiles,
private-
and panthers. But he wasn't
private
just
zoo?
a businessman. He was a ruthless criminal who climbed the cartel pyramid by killing, maiming, and bribing. So it was no surprise that there was a $5 million reward on his head. El Chapo was arrested and sent to prison twice, but he escaped. However, after the third arrest in 2016, he was sent to a maximum security prison in the U.S.
Oh, yeah, I heard of that.
A prison so tough, no one has ever escaped.
Yeah, I heard of that.
Let's explore every detail about El Chapo's Supermax
Let's get
prison
to it
and how
then.
the once terrifying kingpin lives his life today. When
I'm
El
interested.
Chapo was arrested in Guatemala in 1993,
Okay.
he already was a notorious criminal. He'd entered the narcotics trade at a very young age, then progressed with the help of Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo.
Gallardo.
El Padrino, Spanish for the Godfather. He was the leader of the famous Guadalajara cartel and the godfather of all modern cartels.
That means he has some pull. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if you guys are like up to date with like all the things going on in Mexico and like the cartels and stuff, but they recently captured El Chapo's son, and he's not going out without a fight. Like, he's going crazy. Like, not even him, his people are going crazy for him. They're trying to get him out, and they've been causing havoc in the streets. I'm not really sure if they got him out yet. However, I do know it's really crazy out there in Mexico, and they've been saying like not to go to like certain parts of Mexico, or you'll get caught in the crossfires and stuff. And I even seen like videos of like people on a plane like shook, like they was like, oh my god.
When El Padrino was arrested in 1989, El Chapo saw this as a great opportunity. He would grow his own cartel, the Sinaloa, and become the new leader of Mexican trafficking. In 1993, he was arrested and sentenced to 20 years in prison.
20
But in
years.
2001, he escaped in a prison laundry cart
What?
after bribing prison officials some $2.5 million. El Chapo lived on the run.
He escaped in a laundry cart. Imagine. Yo, that's what money do. I should bribe people.
Years in prison. But in 2001, he escaped in a prison laundry cart after bribing prison officials some $2.5 million. El Chapo lived on the run for 13 years before he was arrested again in 2014. He was sent to a maximum security prison in Mexico, but bribery and a giant fortune meant El Chapo could get away again. So he used a team to build an underground tunnel under the prison's
Sheesh.
tower. But El Chapo couldn't just ride into the sunset. He'd escaped from prison twice, and the DEA was fighting hard to have him extradited to the U.S. and tried for his crimes on American soil. So
El Chapo been through it. It's crazy how he escaped from prison not once, not twice, if I'm not mistaken, 3 times. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this. But it's crazy. Just escaping from prison 1 time. Like, imagine you facing 20 years and then boom, you out of prison, and then you on the run for 13 years. So you was about to face 20 years, and out of those 20 years, you was out for 13 years.
in 2016, El Chapo was once again arrested, except this time he was taken to the United States.
Oh, dang. It's over
You
for
can
bro.
see the fear on El Chapo's face from the very first minutes in the U.S. airport. That's probably because he knew it was game over. In 2019, he was found guilty of a number of criminal charges related to his Sinaloa kingpin status. He ordered hits, bribed officials, and supervised countless shipments. He was sentenced to life imprisonment in ADX
Dang.
Colorado. On July 19, 2019,
Life in
El Chapo
prison.
arrived at his Colorado prison cell. He was now inside the same prison as the Unabomber and the Oklahoma City bomber. These are super high profile inmates that are considered particularly dangerous and prone to escaping, so their treatment inside the prison matches that. El Chapo, and as well as his fellow inmates, spend 23 hours a day inside a soundproof cell.
Damn. 23 hours a day inside of a soundproof cell. So that means they're going crazy. They're literally spending 1 hour outside, probably not even outside. They're probably just in the prison facility, maybe getting food or like some shit. But the rest of the day is straight inside of a cell. No, probably no TV, nothing. Probably a couple books or something. They probably going crazy in there.
Their only hour of spare time is thoroughly supervised.
Oh,
Not only are
you see?
prisoners supervised by several guards during rack time, but they're also cuffed and shackled, and their torsos are chained as well. They
Sheesh.
can't run, jump, or do anything sudden. Of course, phones are also off the table.
Oh, damn.
In fact, the only kind of technology available is a small black and white TV set. in their cell.
At least they got a
Inmates
TV.
only receive this TV if they demonstrated good behavior over a long period of time. El
Oh.
Chapo gets to watch TV if he wants, but the prison selects the programs, so no streaming or HD TV. This sounds extreme. It's only
They basically put whatever they want on for him. Like he can't choose and pick. Like it's like selected streaming. So like the oldest throwbacks that he don't even know how to understand nothing Spanish or like like he can't have a pick and choose. So like they could torture him like the weirdest shows if they wanted to. You get what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy.
This ADX Florence was built especially for dangerous, escape-prone convicts. ADX Florence is the highest security prison in the U.S., but it hasn't been around for a very long time. It opened its gates on November 30th, 1994. The Florence Supermax was built as a result of several incidents in other U.S. prisons. During the 1980s, for example, security guards were stabbed to death at the Marion Federal Prison, so ADX Florence set out to make a building impossible to escape, where there are more guards than prisoners, and a tight schedule that doesn't allow them to cause as much damage. This is why it's called the Alcatraz of the Rockies. ADX only hosts about 375 inmates. That's a small number if you consider the amount of effort they put into security.
So basically, they have a bunch of security and they have barely any inmates. But the inmates are like super high profile inmates. So that way they can't escape, they can't do none of that stuff. They're super locked down.
Gun towers surround the prison. There are several rows of razor wire fences and dozens of guards at every corner. So El Chapo won't be escaping anytime
Look at his
soon.
face.
But it's not just ADX Florence's security system that has people talking. It's life at the prison that's seriously debated. Here's what the warden said about the prison.
I don't know what hell is, but I do know that, the assumption would be for a free person, would be pretty close to it.
The inmates spend 23 hours in solitary confinement. According to the United Nations, this qualifies as torture.
Yeah.
Worse than ignoring basic human
That's what
rights.
I
It's
said.
that around a third of the Florence Supermax inmates suffer from severe mental illnesses.
Didn't I say that? I said that in the beginning. I said that's it. I said, yo, just imagine 23 hours in one cell. Like you're gonna go crazy. It's just not humane. Like it's come on. That's you treating somebody like an animal. Not even an animal is 23 hours in a cell. Just imagine. They'll go crazy. You know what I'm saying? After a while, you're gonna go crazy. You're gonna suffer mental illness. Like it's a real thing.
But after spending day after day in solitary confinement, the other two-thirds might discover some new mental health issues too. A 2012 lawsuit against the ADX stated,
It was alleged that years of isolation and almost no human contact had seriously eroded the social skills and the ability to adapt to ADX Florence inmates.
the only contact with the outside world is a 4-inch window.
Yep.
Looking out, you can only see the sky. That way, no inmate ever knows where their cell is. There are
Damn.
several accounts of ADX Florence inmates screaming for hours or hurting themselves as they simply go mad inside their tiny cells.
Some mutilate their bodies with razors, shards of glass,
Oh my
shards of
God.
chicken bones, writing utensils, and whatever other objects they can attain.
One
Dang. So they go so crazy that they literally like start cutting themselves and mutilating themselves and hitting themselves on the head. Yo, thank you, Rachel Davis. I appreciate you for the subscribe. For real, for real. It's crazy though. I ain't gonna lie. It's really crazy just knowing like how they really go insane and they start like hitting their head on the wall and they like just start trying to kill themselves. Cause come on, bro. Come on. Like in their head, they probably feel like they'd rather not be alive than to be in that situation.
And whatever other objects they can attain.
particularly creepy incident involving an inmate biting off both his pinky fingers during his psychotic episode. Is this something he would have done in the outside world or in another prison? Or did the extreme isolation at the Florence Supermax lead to this terrifying?
Yeah, he was
There
going
have
crazy.
also been cases of inmates taking their own lives in pretty gruesome ways.
A number swallow razor blades, nail clippers, parts of radios and televisions,
Say what?
broken glass, and other dangerous objects.
What? Did y'all hear that?
Razor blades,
Razor blades,
parts of
nails
radios and
clippers,
television, broken glass,
radios,
and other dangerous
televisions, broken glass, like,
The Florence Supermax is home to a big number
well, parts of
very dangerous
radios.
Trade Center bomber Ramzi Youssef. The only person convicted for the 9/11 attacks is also at ADX Florence. The Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, terrorized the U.S. with bombs for 2 decades before his arrest and transfer to the Florence Supermax, and several other infamous bombers, from the Oklahoma City bomber to the Boston Marathon bomber, are held here. But
What
not
the-
all FTX Florence inmates are the worst of the worst.
I didn't even know all of that. That's crazy. That's a lot of people. So basically, the 9/11 bombers, the people from the
2 decades
Boston,
before his
a
arrest,
couple other
he
people
transferred to the Florence Supermax, and
transferred
several
there.
other infamous bombers, from the Oklahoma City bomber to the Boston Marathon bomber, are
Yo.
held here. But not all FDX Florence inmates are the worst of the worst. Some of them are inmates with discipline issues. They have been transferred from other prisons where they attacked fellow prisoners or guards. But the insane
Oh.
treatment is the same for everyone.
Damn.
Every inmate sleeps and spends most of their day alone in a 7 by 12-foot cell. There's a shower that works with a timer to prevent flooding, and a steel unit comprised of the toilet, sink, and mirror. But
Like, just imagine, like, you went to prison for, like, marijuana or some shit, like, where it's illegal, right? And then you get sentenced for, like, 10 years, right? And then you have to fight for your life every single day, right? People scheming on you every single day, right? Let's just say you attack somebody, right? It's at a prisoner or a guard, right? And then you get transferred to this prison. Just imagine, for marijuana. For marijuana. People really probably go through that. You get what I'm saying? So it's just crazy to know that they can get transferred there to that prison where all of those crazy people are, and then they end up going insane. And then those are probably the people that end up eating things and trying to kill themselves. You get what I'm saying? Because they're like, why am I here right now? Like, what's going on? It's crazy, the situations.
prisoners can't shower whenever they want. The shower's only turned on automatically 3 times a
Three
week.
times a
Inmates
week.
won't even be able to
Sheesh.
sleep for too long either. The bed is literally a concrete slab with a thin mattress and a blanket. Comfort is not exactly a priority at the Florence Supermax. All
Sheesh.
furniture is made of concrete, and the toilet unit is fixed to the floor because ADX wants to prevent inmates from making DIY weapons from them. Mealtime is also rough. The inmates get food delivered straight to their cells through small double sliding doors.
Damn.
They eat alone, and they can't talk to other inmates down the hall.
Wow. So, cut out that part where I said in the hour of their free time they go get something to eat. That doesn't happen. They eat by themselves. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The inmates get food delivered straight to their cells through small double sliding doors. They eat alone, and they can't talk to other inmates down the hall. There are very few escapes from the madness of solitary confinement at Florence Supermax. For starters, there's a library, and inmates can borrow books and magazines to read in their cells. Then, there are telephone calls, but these are limited to 15 minutes a month. In other prisons, inmates can talk to their families every day, even if the calls are recorded and have a time
15
limit.
minutes a
However,
month?
The ADX does allow visits up to 5 times a month, but all these visits have to be justified, and inmates are once again heavily supervised. In most prisons, solitary confinement is used as punishment for a few hours or a day. Prisoners spend time in solitary confinement for attacking people and breaking prison rules. But in Florence Supermax, this is the norm. It's an eerie feeling just walking down its corridors, as former warden Robert Hood said.
The ADX is a far starker environment than any other prison I've ever seen, and I've been to all of the federal prisons.
Damn.
For the first 3 years inside the ADX, prisoners aren't allowed to have contact with other prisoners. Their 1 hour of rack time is also spent alone, in an empty room with a pull-up bar or a caged pen in the yard. After 3 years, and with a good behavior record, they can spend their spare hour talking to other inmates. During an inmate's last year at the prison, they get 4 spare hours each day. They can also serve their meals with fellow inmates. But all of this is impossible for El Chapo.
I was just about to ask, like, so does El Chapo get that same type of treatment? Or is it like a little bit different for him, you know, because of the situation he's in? They about to explain it.
He will be spending the rest of his life inside the Florence Supermax. 2022, El Chapo has been at the ADX Florence for 3 years. His wife Emma has been fighting hard to earn him a more humane treatment.
She got arrested too.
Atiendan y que pues apliquen los derechos humanos con él. No estamos pidiendo algo otra cosa, solamente que lo dejen descansar.
El Chapo still has no human contact, bar the minutes spent with the prison guards. He's being kept at Range 13, the ADX block for the most dangerous criminals. He doesn't even have access to a normal shower.
What?
He gets washed with a hose, as he once dug a tunnel.
He gets washed with a hose, bro. That's a little crazy, man. That's
Spent with the prison guards.
that's
He's
crazy.
being kept at Range 13, the ADX
That's
block
crazy.
for the most dangerous criminals.
That's
He doesn't
crazy.
even have access to a normal shower. He gets washed with a hose, as he once dug a tunnel under his shower to escape prison. El Chapo has filed an appeal for his prison sentence. His lawyer stated,
The deprivation of sunlight and fresh air over an extensive 27-month period is causing psychological scarring. He is suffering many symptoms of distress as a result of this lengthy, unwarranted punishment.
whether his punishment is unwarranted or not, that's up for
Yo,
you to
he looked
decide.
crazy.
After all, El Chapo did have lots of people killed just to have more money and power within his cartel. But what should punishment entail? Should even the worst criminals be kept in maddening conditions? According to Emma and El Chapo's lawyers, he can barely sleep
Yeah.
because the lights and the noisy air conditioning are always on. Furthermore, he complained that the guards are constantly chatting in the hallway, making rest virtually impossible. Emma even complained that El Chapo's blood pressure is dangerously up these days, and she is worried for his life at the Florence Supermax. After the COVID-19 pandemic, visits were also suspended, so El Chapo couldn't see his family or his lawyers for a long time. At the moment,
Sheesh.
it's unclear just how much contact El Chapo is allowed with the outside world. But what's clear is that he is trying hard to escape the harsh conditions of ADX Florence. However, he won't be able to escape prison this time. Unless the appeal works, he will spend the rest of his life in the highest security prison in the United States. Does El Chapo deserve his current treatment? DEA Special Agent Ray Donovan said it clearly.
This is the kind of fate that a man responsible for unspeakable violence and death deserves. Thousands of people died or were ordered killed because of the Sinaloa cartel. So yeah, he doesn't leave his cell. It is boring. It's monotonous. It is very sad, but here's the difference. He's alive, and that means he can do plenty of things.
That's true.
Unlike many of his victims.
Do you agree
Yeah,
with Ray Donovan?
I
Should
agree.
El Chapo or any prisoner really
I
get
agree.
more humane treatment no matter the gravity of their actions? Let me know down in the
I mean, it
comments
makes
section.
sense,
And
I
before you
guess.
go,
Like, I
make
guess
sure you-
he's alive, so you gotta, the people that, he did what he did to ain't alive, so they can't really enjoy it. But, I mean, I'm not one to really talk on this situation. But this was a good video, though. Like, they covered a lot of shit. They covered a lot of key points that I didn't even know. I was like, what the hell? They try to eat razors and nails and stuff? Like, what the fuck is going on? Whew. Well, I like that shit. I like that video. That was fire. If you guys liked it, let me know. If you want me to do more videos like this, let me know in the comments down below. You know the vibes. If you are new to the channel and you are here right now, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, comment W, and you know what I'm saying, the comments down below also. Just let me know that you're still here. And with that being said, you already know the vibes. Follow us on Instagram. Thinking Billions, Mr. Thinking Billions. With that being said, catch you next video. Peace.